Hey everybody, and welcome back to Midtown, USA. It is day 9, and we are into midwinter, and I have to say it's been a fairly mild winter, so to speak. We have right now we've got an air temperature of 34 degrees. We've got a ground temperature desperately close to freezing at 32 degrees. So we are going to go down here, and I thought I would take the time to go over here to field 5 and go ahead and work it up some. It's going to need plowing and another layer of fertilization. So I know once we hit frozen ground, all field work will be done for the winter until the ground thaws. So it's best to go ahead and take the opportunity to go ahead and get this plowed up and ready for spring planting of potatoes. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get this worked up. Let's go ahead and lock this course in and get to it. So here we've got the way cool custom plow texture that's on the map. This is obviously not your standard plow texture. Let's go ahead and take a look at this a little bit closer. We got crumpled ground. It looks really cool compared to the normal plow texture. So like I said, I thought we would work this up before we had frozen ground. We kind of in a limbo state, if you will. We got about 111,000 liters of hay pellets that we could work up and palletize. We obviously have our animals to care for, but that's pretty much all we've got to look forward to for the rest of winter. So we've got another 6 days of winter, and I'm thinking it's probably only going to take about 3 days to palletize and sell all of that, all of those hay pellets. And when we look at the forecast, you can see that we may not see frozen ground until maybe day 12. You know, it's a little suspect as to if we're even going to have frozen ground this winter. But I didn't want to risk it. I wanted to go ahead and get the plow in the ground, so to speak, and get this field worked up. It won't take long at all with this plow to work this field up. Then we'll come down, we'll give it another quick shot of fertilizer, and depending on how much time we got left in the day, we might cultivate it up and get it back in a cultivated state for springtime. That way all we need to do is come in and plow with. We'll probably lease a potato planter for planting potatoes in this field. And I thought about where we would store those potatoes, and one of these buildings over here, I think it's the one there behind the municipal building. I think that one's got some tip collisions and some sectioned off areas for like tipping. So I thought we would just tip our potatoes into there and store them in there, and then just come down as we needed to refill our trailer with potatoes for the pigs. I thought we'd just come down here and scoop up a load and take the trailer back to the pig farm. That's what I thought we would do as far as storing potatoes. And then once we are done with potatoes, we probably won't need to plant potatoes at all, ever. Once we do that, even if we end up playing this map for multiple years, we will have enough potatoes to keep us and our pigs fed for quite a while. It's almost, I don't know how I mean, it almost feels unrealistic the way potato yield is. You know, I suspect we're probably going to get a couple 100,000 liters of potatoes off of this little field. This field is, well, let me see. This is field, what is this? This is field 6. So field 6 is 0.98 hectares size. Let me get turned around here and started down the other way, and let me go look up in my spreadsheet, in my yield, in my animal feed calculator spreadsheet, and see what I think 0.98 hectares should yield. Just get this thing started and put it on cruise control. See if I can't pull this up real fast. Alright, so it says potatoes should yield 49, almost 50,000 liters per hectare. So there you go. We should see about 50,000 liters of potatoes out of this one little field. And we're going to need, for our 50 little piggies, we're only going to need 5,400 liters of potatoes for the whole year. So we could pick that up. We could keep our pigs for 10 years with the amount of, or close to 10 years for the amount of potatoes we're going to get out of this little one field. Of course, potatoes wouldn't last that long. They would have rotted long before then. And I think that would probably be a pretty cool feature for seasons to implement, is somehow to know how old a crop is, and basically say, well, you could keep potatoes for, let's say, 2 years, and if you have a potato that's you have potatoes longer than 2 years, that they just rot away and disappear, basically become unusable for feed. That would be pretty neat. Got our sign here we need to work around. We want to have to call the sign company and let them know that took their billboard out. This plow, oh no. I was busy admiring this plow texture and didn't even realize that we weren't locked in. I say this plow texture really does look nice compared to the base in-game plow texture. And for canola, it's you know, I get click happy, and you know, I work in IT, and I always, you know, we always blame users for just clicking away an error before they read it. And what do I go and do? I get a pop-up and I just immediately click saying get out of my face, and then after I click it I realize that I probably should have read it. So we have a great demand for canola. We have canola. When we're done plowing the field, let's I guess let's take a look-see and see what they're going to give us for canola. Back to the forecast, as you can see that we don't have lows below freezing until Monday, day 12, and at that point we have below freezing temperatures for the rest of winter. So day 12, 13, 14, and 15. Then on the first day of spring, we do see a high of 54. That is a really, really nice high temperature for the first day of spring. It basically says we could plant anything we wanted to the first day of spring if we were to just go off of temperature. But of course, we can't plant sunflowers, soybeans, or corn the first day of spring. We have to wait until the middle spring. We could be able to plant potatoes, wheat, barley, canola, or sugar beet, should we so wish to, but I don't have a desire to plant sugar beets. That is for sure. go ahead and get rid of our forecast. Get back in cab. Then we will fold her up here and check out our temperature with respect to canola. Let's check canola out and see how we're doing. $1,054 down at the train station. Okay. Let's check our season's economy page. See how canola is. Okay, well, canola 912. So the canola, the best canola price looks like it may have passed already. Wish I'd have known that to have looked for that. So I think we will maybe go ahead and sell off some canola. Let's see here. Is the train station. Okay, so that was the trailer. We need the trailer that tips from the back, or the you know what? Might as well use the little grain carts and bring both of them down here and just make a couple of trips. That sounds fun. Let's turn off GPS. I think what we'll do is we'll go up, we'll grab the you know, I feel like we've got plenty of liquid manure and more than enough digestate. We don't need to bring the liquid fertilizer sprayer down here. I think we'll bring the maybe we'll bring the slurry spreader, the slurry applicator down here, and just shoot a load of slurry on there. Then we'll come down and cultivate that up. Should be good to go. Is coming. I think that's what we'll do for today's episodes, or for the rest of the episode. We'll shoot some slurry on there real fast. We'll see if we can't get the field cultivated real quick. Again, with the idea of trying to finish up any field work before we get frozen ground state, just to get more done in winter before we do get frozen ground. And then see if we can't maybe sell a couple cartloads of grain down to the train station. Well, I got that spreadsheet up. Let's see, we need 21,600 liters of protein for the year for 50 pigs. So we have what, 300,000 liters of soybeans. So I think we could manage to keep a couple of those soybeans around. So we can make another 70,000 with our with the canola. Since we have great demand, we don't have to worry about bringing in multiple, you know, doing multiple trips. And yes, this slurry applicator is massive overkill for that field, but this is what I have. This came with the this came as part of the starting equipment that I kept. But when you look at field 6, when you look at field 6 compared to the rest of the fields on the map, obviously if we owned equipment that worked for field 6, we would be forever and a day plowing up fields 11 and 17, for example. So when you have one field that is drastically smaller in size than every other field, it does look a little odd when you're using this huge equipment. That is for sure. probably don't need this full, but you know what? If I don't fill it, I would have needed a full load to apply my fertilizer. Yeah. I really think Farm Sim goes through slurry and digestate and manure, for that factor. It goes through all three of those way faster than, let's say, liquid fertilizer or solid fertilizer. And you know, I have to think that are you really applying that much more liquid manure to the field than you are applying a liquid fertilizer product? I don't know. The only experience I have of farming was when I was a lot younger, and I definitely wasn't dealing with fertilizing fields, and we didn't have animals, so I don't know if the application rates are anywhere close to realistic or not. I was watching Grizzly Bear Sims do a video on cattle and crops, and it seemed like his 18,000 liter slurry applicator, it seemed to do a pretty good job on the field he was working on. Didn't look like an overly small field, yet he was able to do more than half the field with his 18,000 liter slurry applicator. So here we are with this 30,000 liter thing, and it wouldn't surprise me if we don't go and come close to using the whole 30,000 liters for this sized field. We'll have to see. So I don't usually apply slurry or manure or digestate, simply because I usually find other ways of using those products. So just to keep from wasting product, we're going to use GPS here to help us out. Oh, we don't. Long button. Offset and get to applying. Look at that, we've already used 1,000 liters. $2,000 liters. Haven't even made one pass. So those of you that are playing the map, let me know how you're playing it. What kind of fields do you own? Are you playing a career type gameplay where you are starting with the starting equipment that you got on the map, and you're starting with the fields that you started out with, and you're working for the grind, or did you cheat in money? Did you buy additional fields at the outset? You could in theory. Oh, look, this is perfect. This pass is perfect. You could go on the $1 million gold nugget hunt and get a nice injection of cash to buy up some extra fields. So those of you that are playing in the map, let me know how you're playing it. And just curious. Looks like we used almost half of a load. 3 passes for this little field. That's pretty funny. You know, something else we're going to need to do very, very soon is maintenance. Got 6.2 hours left on this tractor, or 7 game days. So that's something I'm going to need to remember to do before the end of the first year, is to maintain our equipment. Else we're going to be socked with a huge maintenance fee. Glad we have half a load of slurry in here. We may not have been able to pull a full load up there. That was struggling pretty good. So I think now we'll just go grab the all-rounder cultivator, finish this off. We haven't seen snow since that one little time so far on the map. You have rain in the forecast for today, but I don't know if, depending on when the rain comes, the temperatures may not cooperate with us. Just have to just wait and see. Play it by ear, so to speak. That is definitely another reason to want to see if we can't hurry up and get this field work done. I guess you were all the way backed up. Oh wait, I forgot. We got rid of the all-rounder for this horse cultivator. I forgot all about it. Oh, looks like the rain's about to come in. Let's see this thing up. Well, it opens up a little quick. Thought would. It's a big boy. Not quite as big as the all-rounder, but still pretty nice sized. Right. Just for consistency, let's grab ourselves a GPS course. So are you all playing with the horse equipment? Let me know what you think of the horse equipment in general. See if we can get some see the animations on this thing. Spinning discs there on the front part, and the spinning I don't know what they are, compaction rollers on the back end. It's pretty cool. I'm interested what you all think of the horse equipment. I think it's all pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to use it all yet. Kind of looking forward to trying out the seed and fertilizer tenders, or fill wagons, or whatever you want to call them, when we get around to our spring planting season. And we've got rain. It might transition to snow. We'll just have to see. 5 o'clock rainstorm. Alright, so I think we'll just hammer this out in a little bit of a time lapse. Won't take long. Alright, so that didn't take too terrible long. Let's go up there and get those two grain carts and see if we can't sell ourselves some canola. Alright guys, so we have our two grain carts full of canola. Go ahead and run back down to the train station. See if we can't get these sold off real quick. So those billboards I've been seeing, they're advertising some Three Dudes gaming network. I'm not really sure what that is. I encourage you maybe to go check that out. Got a link in my description. We're gonna go this way and kind of meander our way around to the grain dump point. I don't really think it's the correct way to get over here. It's definitely the shorter way. Then what we'll need to do is turn around and get pointed the other direction. So this is the grain dump door. Want to pull up to. Go ahead and dump this load in. Go. This load dumped in. Oh my. That'll get you away every time. That'll wake you up. Let's go ahead and meander on back around. And head on back up to the farm. And see if we can't sell off the rest of the canola. It looks like we got about, what, 25,000 per load? Not too shabby. Might want to put some more canola in the ground next year. We only had, I think, one field of canola last year. It seems to pay well. I'm really looking forward to the soybean sale. We've got several 100,000, I think, in the grain bank there. Kind of, you call it a, want to call the grain tanks here a bank. We just haven't sold it to earn that actual money. 22,000. That's going to be It's going to be just one cartload. All right. We'll go ahead and pull the other empty cart behind us. It's no big deal. I think I left our truck up by the hay pallets plant, or I would use that to pull these grain carts. They're a little quicker. Pick up, obviously. In here, I guess we should put on our blinker and our beacons, right? One, because we're a slow-moving vehicle, and two, because it's bad weather. We should be well lit, right? So I thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please consider clicking the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and click subscribe. We do Let's Play videos on Midtown every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we have map videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Let's go ahead and dump this. I already mentioned 3 Dudes Gaming Network. I am an admin over there. And would love for you to come by, drop by, say hi, and see what we're all about. We have an open multiplayer server for members. Any member, 3 Dudes, are more than welcome to come in to the multiplayer server. Currently, I am doing some play with the Skeleton map, which is the cancer charity map from Rapper's Paradise. But soon I will be back streaming on the 3 Dudes multiplayer server every Saturday night. But the server is still up and is still available for any 3 Dudes member to play. In addition, I'd encourage you to go check out PCSG, another great web community for simulation-based gamers. And until next time, happy farming.